The Mexican hotel that harbored the subject of an international manhunt. This is the first look at where so-called Affluenza teen Ethan Couch and his mother were hiding when they were arrested. And their next trip will bring them to one of Houston's airports. Today, when will they arrive and what comes next? Our live team coverage starts now.
The so-called Affluenza teenager and his mother will make their return to the U.S. by way of Houston. I'm Keith Garvin.
And I'm Sarah Donchi. This is a story we have been tracking for you since we learned the two were captured in Mexico last night. Ethan Couch drew sharp criticism after a judge sentenced him to 10 years probation for a drunk driving crash that killed 4 people. He violated his parole and fled and was captured in Mexico yesterday, as we mentioned. Authorities are expected to return him and his mother to the U.S. by way of Houston.
Channel 2's Jace Larson begins our team coverage live from Bush Intercontinental Airport. Jace.
Hey, good evening to you. This is where the teen and his mother are expected to arrive. They could come into Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport as early as tomorrow after they were captured in Mexico. The photo taken of Ethan Couch by Mexican authorities after he was captured shows he darkened his hair and his beard. It was no longer blonde as it had been when he appeared in court. Tarrant County Sheriff D. Anderson said today he thinks Couch and his mom fled in late November after this video surfaced. It appears to show Couch at a party with people who were drinking. If Couch was drinking, his probation could be revoked. Authorities began searching for the pair after Ethan Couch failed to keep a mandatory appointment with his probation officer on December 10th.
Eventually got some intelligence information that was very valuable, that they had probably driven the pickup truck that we put out at the last news conference, the information for people to look for. Got some intelligence they'd probably driven that to the border.
Mexico's Jalisco State Prosecutor's Office said in a statement that Couch and his mother were found in Puerto Vallarta's Old Town.
Learned through some interviews that what we suspected all along had happened, that they had planned to disappear, that they even had something that was almost akin to a going away party.
Now, the sheriff also tells us that the mother in this case is expected to face a charge herself. That expected charge is hindering apprehension in Texas. We're live at Bush Airport. Jace Larson, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Jace, thank you. There's some more to learn here. What awaits Ethan Couch after he arrives on U.S. soil?
Yeah, the question, what's the next step in the legal case and what punishment could he face for fleeing to Mexico? Channel 2's Phil Archer continues our live team coverage from downtown. Phil, you've been looking into where this actually goes next.
And local law enforcement officials are telling us they've been told to expect Couch and his mother to make an appearance here at the county magistrate court sometime tomorrow after they land. Other sources are saying they don't expect it will happen that quickly. Whatever punishment Couch faces once he is brought back depends on some legal maneuvering now underway in Fort Worth. Ethan Couch and his mother, Tanya, will land first in Houston because it is the nearest port of entry. According to federal sources, they'll be walked through customs at the airport. Then standard procedure would be to take them before a state judge here to have charges read against them and bonds set. They could then be turned over to Tarrant County officers to be transported back to Fort Worth. But law enforcement sources tell Channel 2 News they expect both to spend at least one night in jail here. Police have also been told to expect them to arrive sometime Wednesday, but Channel 2 legal analyst Brian Weiss says Couch's attorney doesn't believe it will happen that quickly.
It's a violation of the Mexican Constitution to extradite a juvenile.
Channel 2 analyst Brian Weiss has been in contact with Couch's attorney Reagan Wynn, who expects the process of bringing them back to take much longer.
The prospect of Ethan being extradited is problematic. That doesn't mean that he can't be deported.
When Couch returns as a juvenile, he could be locked up only until he turns 19 next April. The Tarrant County DA is already moving to transfer the case to adult court, where Couch could face a much stiffer punishment.
When he is returned along with his mother, we expect the mother to be charged with hindering apprehension in Texas law, and then we expect to begin proceedings with Ethan Couch. As you know, there's already a hearing set on January the 19th to transfer his juvenile probation to the adult system.
If the juvenile judge approves that, it could result in a longer confinement, or possibility of a longer confinement for Ethan Couch, up to 10 years, according to Mr. Weiss. The charge his mother is likely to face carries a punishment range of 2 to 10 years in state prison. Reporting live downtown, I'm Phil Archer, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Phil